On October 21st, IBJ unveils the 2025 Women of Influence. Join us to celebrate Indy's most inspiring leaders and hear the powerful stories behind their success. Don't miss this moment. Register now at ibj.com/influence 2025.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Brian Southern, CEO of Vincennes-based AgroRenew, says the decision to suspend plans for a $79 million bioplastics facility is disappointing, but he's hopeful the project will still come to fruition. Uncertainty surrounding tariffs is the main reason for the move, as the company would need to bring the plant's equipment in from overseas.
We didn't want to keep kicking the can down the street, as they would say. So we're suspending the project now until those delivery dates can be firmed up and we know exactly economically how we're going to get the equipment here that we can use.
In the meantime, he says the company continues to develop its formula to turn crop waste from area melon farms into biodegradable single-use plastics. Fort Wayne Mayor Sharon Tucker joined city and regional leaders Monday to cut the ribbon on the new Meridian Health Clinic on the city's southeast side. The $4.5 million clinic is part of the $65 million Village Premier campus and will provide routine medical care for all ages. Purdue University is among the top 100 research schools worldwide, according to a new ranking that examined more than 2,000 institutions. Purdue ranks number 85 in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, with the University of Notre Dame at 194, followed by Indiana University at 198. The schools were ranked based on criteria in 5 broad areas: teaching, research environment, research quality, industry, and international outlook. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
With fall sports underway at the University of Evansville for the 2025-26 season, the athletics department aims to match or exceed its high revenue and attendance numbers from last season. UE's sports programs generated more than $800,000 in ticket revenue during the last academic year, the highest amount in more than a decade. Joel Zimba, Executive Deputy Athletics Director for External Relations, attributed the success to a variety of factors, including building relationships with fans.
You really have to have a captivating experience. Essentially, you have to get your fans not only excited about what you're doing, but also they have to understand that you're willing to kind of listen and adjust appropriately. So we're blessed to have a fan base that has stayed committed to us throughout the years, and you just build on that momentum. So the success on the field, on the court, combined with a willingness of coaches and staff and student athletes to engage on a deep level with the community, I think that's been first and foremost the biggest contributing factor. 3
teams, men's soccer, baseball, and volleyball, achieved their highest revenue in nearly 10 years. With more than 100,000 fans attending home events, the men's basketball team witnessed its highest average attendance over the last 5 seasons. Some retired professors from Indiana University are raising concerns about recent policy changes made by the university's Board of Trustees that exclude them from participating in organizations that help govern faculty functions across the university's 9 campuses and regional centers. Such organizations help establish faculty health benefits, hear faculty discipline and grievances matters, and contribute to hearing student disciplinary cases. In response to the new policies, retired professors with an honorary emeritus designation have sued the IU Board of Trustees and issued a resolution to the Bloomington Faculty Council asking them to deem the trustees' policy and matching state law unconstitutional and beyond the purview of the rights of the board. Thousands of fans fill Lucas Oil Stadium for Indianapolis Colts games each year, and as the team continues its winning streak, Switzerland-based Dormakaba is working to enhance the entry experience with its recently installed Alvarado Ultra Q pedestals that allow fans to self-scan their tickets. Brian McNeil with Alvarado says missed scans led to inaccurate attendance numbers and delays with getting inside the venue.
There was a number of instances where fans would be showing up, several minutes after kickoff. And since rolling out the products now, that they're showing up into their seats before, roughly 2 minutes or so before kickoff. So it's certainly been a more inviting experience to kind of get fans in quickly and easily.
The Colts began rolling out the technology last year and have now expanded its use to include all entry locations. Republic Airways President Matt Koskell is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Whether it's healthcare innovation, major infrastructure, or global sports impact, Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick tells the stories of Indiana's groundbreakers and game changers. It's the must-listen show for business, civic, and community leaders across the state. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.